All right, as I always do, happy Wednesday, but big waves to you. Now, as adults, if we'll just kind of go to the two hands, it'll make you smile inside. So good to see everybody on this Wednesday. We've got a lineup for you tonight. And I want to preface this where this call came from. And as you know, we do different things throughout the entire week. Okay. Um, but we wanted this call to be more about highlighting people, different parts of the world that was doing great things and then could share some tips. Because I don't know about you, but if I'm going to jump on a call, I want to be able to walk away with something that I can tie back in, right? That I can tie into my team. That maybe Andrea says something and it's that one thing that I can go, okay, I got that. And I say this a lot. I say this on my other trainings, calls that we do during the week. But to be really good in this industry, and I said this last week, some of you might put it in the comments, what's about to come out of my mouth. You got to be able to lie, cheat, and steal, right? So if you're new, you've never heard that before, you go, oh my gosh, what does he mean? Larry Carlton, he knows what I mean, right? What I mean by that, you got to be able as an adult to lie in bed at night and dream big, right? And I really hope that I never stop dreaming. I never want to start settling. I think God put us on this earth to thrive, not to survive. And I'm going to share a message with you tonight before I introduce these amazing people. So you got to be able to lie in bed at night and go, what do I want? Wherever I'm at, what do I want it to look like, right? But then you also got to be able to cheat. What does that mean? I got to cheat time out of my day. Like like I can't wish for it. I got to go work for it. Like I've got to go, maybe it's take time away from the TV to build this business, take time away from the news. I'll never forget when there's been many years where I'm like, I don't know what's going on in the news because I don't have time to watch it, right? Because it's like it takes away from this, it takes away from growing. And then you got to be not only lie and cheat, but you got to be able to steal ideas and wisdom from people that have been there and done it. And you know what? Most people that have been there and done it, they want you to take their stuff. They want you to make it your own, you know? And so I want us all to keep that in mind. And you got to be able to do that. I want to start off tonight by saying this. And I thought about doing it at the end. But then I thought, no, it's going to be the way I introduce these people tonight. They have impeccable leadership. They have impeccable integrity. And I can't wait for them to give you some strategies and some nuggets of wisdom tonight, what's going on in their business, how their business is doing so well. But I want to give you this, and would you agree that how many of you live? Well, first of all, how many of you lived between 1963 and 1997? Like you lived some point in that time frame. You ever remember, like, this is a test for the next 60 seconds? Seconds, this station will conduct a test, right? This is only a test. So I want to go to probably the greatest history book of all time, the Bible. And I'm not a scholar, don't claim to be one. But I think we would all agree that God created tests for people. I think about the story of Abraham and Isaac. One of the most, I have kids of my own. That story was a huge test because he called for Abraham to, right, to really do something horrific to his own son, Isaac. And then at the end, it was a test. He was not going to allow that to happen, but he wanted to see Abraham's faith, right? And so Why do I say that tonight? Why does that even matter? And I want you to remember these 4 words. No test, no testimony. I'm going to say it again. No test, Josh, no testimony. Why do I say that? Guys, I was a coach. And I'll tell you this, I had players that if you wasn't going to start them, they weren't going to play. If they didn't have the guarantee, right? And it's like, no, buddy, you got to go through practice like everybody else. You got to sweat. You got to go through 2-a-days. You got to work your butt off to get on that playing field. It's not granted. It takes effort. You got to be tested to get the testimony. And a lot of times in network marketing, I see people come in and we're in this I want it now society. And it's like, well, I want to make 6 figures and I want it to be easy. Where there's no test, there's no testimony. And tonight, the reason I wanted to share that is tonight coming into this, I want you to think, like, what's going on in your business right now? Are you being tested? Mary Catherine, do you ever want to soul up and get mad and go, these people are not working hard enough? I need more people. Where there's no test, there's no testimony. You see, I want you to picture tonight you standing on stage and sharing with people your testimony of what you went through to get to where you want to be, Al Diaz. Because where there's no test, there's no testimony. And I can promise you right now, there's people on this call right now, they're having a test in their life. Maybe it's their family. Maybe it's the finances. Maybe I need the money right now. But you know what? Your customers, that doesn't matter to them. I still got to show grace. I still got to come to them. I still got to do the follow-ups. Just because I need it now doesn't mean they do. And so I want you to think about tonight the people that emerge in this industry. Ask Tammy Mockby Melchizedek if she had a test. Guys, she's $1 million plus earner in this industry. She's had a great career. She came to this industry with a test, and she made it her testimony. And I share all that with you because maybe you're sitting here tonight and it's like Ohio's coming up. Put a 1 in the comment if you're going to Ohio. You're going to see a lot of 1s. That's right. We got a lot of people coming to Ohio. But it could be a test for some of you. Like, I don't know. God, it's 3 hours away. What are you going to do? We're going to be tested. Or we're going to make the test our testimony. And so I want you to put a 2. We got an event coming up called PXP in Dallas, Texas. Put a 2 in the comments if you're going to Dallas, Texas. We had all these beautiful slides tonight that Andrea did, and I'm skipping right over them because what it's really about is a commitment to where I want to go, right? And Bob, if you're sitting there tonight going, I'm not on this call because I just want to waste the hour of my life. I'm on this call because there's something I want to do that's bigger than me. It's something I want to do for my family. It's something that I want to do for me. It's something I want to grow at. It's going to test you. And so maybe Dallas is a test. Do I need it? Can I afford it? Where there is no test, there's no testimony. There's people on here tonight that make a lot of money today that was tested about an event and they didn't have the money to go. They found a way. They sit in a hotel room with 6 people, 8 people, whatever it took. I challenge you to think about it. I challenge you to study the history book of the Bible. Abraham and Isaac. Where there's no test, there's no testimony. Why did I say it on the front end rather than the back end of this call? Because these three people that we're bringing on tonight, they've had tests. And that's why they're on the call, because they've created a testimony. And I want to tell you this, I'm so proud of all of you, because you're here tonight. You're here tonight. You're stepping up to the test. For whatever reason, whatever you want to do, because I can promise you this, you and me and a lot of other people's got a lot of things going on in our life outside of Partner Co. But you made a commitment to be here, just like me, so that we can join in for about 45 minutes, lock arms, and grow together. So proud of you. God bless you for that. So tonight I'm going to introduce, first up, Miss Tracy Mazeroski. Look at Tracy. Beautiful picture and a transformational picture. So Tracy, thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm going to pan out. I first want you to share. So let me share with everybody. Tracy Mazeroski's got an amazing team. She's a senior officer with our company. And I want to share again, this is not an income claim. It's company data. A senior officer with our company that's paid as for an entire year averages about $160,000 a year. Tracy's going to share her story, and I wanted her to share it because they're pastors in Ohio. I've had the privilege of being at their home. I've had the privilege of meeting her amazing husband, Bob. He's had a transformation on our products. But I want Tracy to share, because I've been around a lot of people in this industry. But she is a shining example of who and what we're trying to attract here at Partner Co. So Tracy Mazeroski, thank you for being here. Thanks for what you do. And let's just start off with your story. Let's share it with everybody. I always hear people from time to time go, I know y'all probably know my story. No, they don't. Not everybody. So share with everybody your story, and thank you for your partnership.
I want to first thank you, Brent, for allowing me to share, because I count it as a privilege. Some of you do know my story, but most of you don't. About 2.5 years ago, I thought I was healthy, somewhat thin, and found out that I had a tumor in my lung. And lo and behold, I found myself in a hospital in Ohio State University, lost 1/3 of my lung. During this process, and it was cancerous, but it was early cancer. They removed it, and I am cancer free. So I want to preface with that. I just had another scan, and I'm healthy. I'm not on any medications. But shortly, not a little over a year ago, I saw a post on Facebook, and Tara Stewart posted about the drops. Well, even though I was cancer free, I still had not regained my vibrancy, where I felt great, where I had the ambition and energy to go ahead and exercise again. And so I started the drops, and my family thought I was crazy. They thought they were sugar drops. They made fun of me. Joshua was one of them, and he'll admit to it. But guess what? By day 2, I was out in my driveway walking. We live on 10 acres, so it's an uphill climb, and I was going I did 3 miles and more, and they started to see this transformation in this lady. Well, what I need to share is, during that time of being out of commission, and we had some other things go on, we were without income for 6 months. So I want you to just kind of imagine with me for a minute, what would you do 6 months without income? So I immediately said to Tara, is this something that I can do? Is this something that I can share? And so I signed up as a brand partner. But in the meantime, Ashley and Joshua joined my team. My daughter and Hilton had joined our team. And I was off and running, selling my drops. And my very first post, the very first week, I sold 30 boxes of drops. And I thought I needed to hire somebody, Brent, because I was trying to mail them all out. And I'm thinking, this is fabulous. Well, you have to understand, I've never done anything like this in my life. So I just thought it was all about retail.
Well, I got to stop you for a minute. 30 boxes, did you say in your first week?
Yes.
Okay. So if you're new to the call, now don't compare, but here's the thing, 30 boxes profit wise is probably somewhere close to $2,400 one weekend. She's been out of pay for 6 months. She's been no pay coming into their home. Tracy, thanks for sharing. I just want to bring that, like, we never know where people are, you know?
Right.
Um,
And
so
we were in fear of losing our home. Like there was a lot involved with it. And, imagine laying your head to your pillow every night worrying, are we going to lose everything? So I sold 30 boxes of drops and I thought it was all about retail. But as people started joining my team and saying what I said, hey, I think I can do this too. I started getting my commission checks, and I don't know how to put this into words of how transforming that was for me, that I could wake up on a Friday and have money in the bank. Um, so my team started growing. We started doing some things, which I don't know if you want me to share that now, Brent, but we started doing some things to create family. And I can say today there's about 1,123 people in my business. And I cannot believe a little over a year later that I was able to make six figures in my first year. And I am forever grateful to Brent Palmer and to the team and our leaders because it resurrected this family. And not only my health, but my vibrancy and then our income. So I'm forever grateful.
Tracy, one of the points you brought out, I got a question for you. I'm just so proud of you. You and Bob are like pillars of the community. And I want that to be a light for all of us. It should be a great example because so many times we prejudge people. They need it, they don't need it. I've been in your home, Tracy. I mean, you and Bob have a beautiful home in Ohio. And if you look, like, no one talks about not needing money. We might talk about wanting to get healthy, but one thing we don't talk about much is like when we're struggling financially. And so I would say Bob and Tracy's probably people that you would walk past and go, no, they don't need this. I would never talk to them about this company because they got everything. And yet 6 months they've been going without income, praying for something, and this shows up. Somebody was willing to share it with them, and then off they go. It should be forever an example to us. Don't prejudge. Somebody asked me the other day, what kind of presentation do you show for this person? I said, the same one I show for every person. I don't change my presentation. I just put it in front of them, right? If it's the president of the United States or if it's a person sweeping the floor at a convenience, it doesn't matter to me. They're people, they're humans, and I want them to look at our company. Tracy, you're doing that. I want to show some pictures really quick
Okay.
because you mentioned it. She started creating community. I want you to ask yourself tonight, because I believe we come here to learn, like, and train and inflect, like, okay, am I doing this? So if I were to ask you tonight, is any of this going on with your team? It doesn't have to be this crowd of people. It could be two people, three people, but do you have community going on? Right? Most of the business we create here is online. Okay, we get that. We get it through our two posts a day. Who's that bald headed guy there? Okay. Oh, I know who he is now. So this is me at Tracy and Bob's beautiful place. I mean, they set up outside. Again, they took time and attention and invited Crossline. Talk about blurring the lines of sponsorship. They're like, come one, come all. It doesn't matter where you're at. They're always so willing and hospitable. And so they're creating community. It's vital Tracy, anything you want to add to that? Because everybody on here has a chance to do that. You don't have to have a big house. You just have to have a willingness that as you grow, you get people together from time to time. So I would challenge anybody on here tonight, like open yourself up and go, am I doing that in my area, in my place? And if it's the answer is no, there's an opportunity there, right? You want to talk about watching your business grow, seeing it explode, put some community in it and watch what happens. So Tracy, anything you want to add to that?
I do because I feel like a lot of people feel like they don't belong, and it's like you said, even which presentation do you do for which kind of people? The bottom line is we need to break down barriers and places where people feel uncomfortable, bring them in, love them as family, and when we're so much stronger as a loving unit. And I have to add a funny to this. You know how Google Maps does they'll zoom in and do your home, like you'll see a picture. Well, ours recently changed, and guess what's in the backyard on the Zoom picture? Those tables, and I'm setting up for a gathering for Partner Co. So I just really, really encourage you. And even if you don't have the gift of hospitality, that happens to be my gift. I love loving on people, and it's so important. Our customers, our brand partners, but you as a team, everybody has a gift to add. Maybe somebody cooks, somebody has the gift of the hospitality, they host it. It's so simple, and you can have everybody bring something, but it grows your team.
No, Tracy, amazing. And I've listened to Tammy Motley Melchizedek talk about community for years and years and years. And she does an amazing job in Colorado Springs with that. And you're doing an amazing job in Ohio with that, you and your team. And I know Brenda Carlton, I see her and Larry on, they're pillars of that. So I got a question for you because you're senior officer and it's in the chats too. What would you say, and just you can take a guess, just a stab at it, if you will. Maybe you know it. How many hours a week would you say you give Partner Co? I mean, you just said six figures, so I think we would all agree, or at least only in the fairy tale world, that you can make six figures and just do very little. Okay, like where else you going to make six figures and give it 10 minutes a day? So I know it's not that. How much would you say you give to this compared to a normal 40-hour a week job making six figures?
Well, if you were to ask my family, the great thing about Partner Co and doing this business with an iPhone, you can have your business at your fingertips 24 hours a day if you wanted to, but we do have to sleep. But I am always checking the business, working the business. I would say a week, I probably put in about 30 hours, probably, if you were to add everything up, because um, I'm constantly checking in on it and that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
making contacts and all that. So,
And I'm going to give a nugget off of that because Tracy talked about 30 hours. So, Josh, we're going to introduce Josh in just a second, but Josh, you got your calculator on you.
Yeah.
So, I call it 60/40. Okay? So, when you start growing a team, when it's just you're 100% time in recruit mode, create and build mode. When you start having a team, then you start bringing in, doing community activity, you do things, but you still create the healthy create and build mode. And so I call it a 60/40 split. So what's 60% of 30 hours, Josh?
18 hours.
18 hours of the 30 hours. If I were coaching Tracy, I would say 18 of the 30 is her recruiting new people. It's her working prospects. Prospects. What is 40% of 30 hours, Josh?
12.
12 hours. 12 hours is spent working with the team, helping them. doing calls, doing Zooms. Like, remember the 60/40. Maybe yours is not 30 hours like Tracy. Tracy's making six figures here. There's a reason, right? But whatever you're working when you're first getting started, all the percentage is towards create and build and recruiting customers and brand partners. But as the team grows and expands, keep the healthy balance and ask yourself, keep looking at your hours and go, am I still giving the healthy balance to create and build? And then the other 40% of my time with my team. And that will grow a long-standing business in our industry. So Tracy, thank you so much for that. And Josh, thanks for your assistance. So here's the thing. We're about to bring Josh on, but I want Tracy to introduce him because listen, this is her team that's on tonight and they're doing amazing. But Josh is, I'm like very high on Josh. Like we got some, we've got some connections. It started a long time ago. But Tracy, share with us, like, we're going to talk about Josh winning the transformation challenge, and what that's about. I've got some questions for Josh, but before you do, I thank you, Andrea, for that. I want Tracy to introduce um, Josh, who he is, how close he lives to her, and just coming into the business.
Well, I am very proud to introduce my son-in-law, who lives right next door. Josh is such a blessing, and Ashley and Joshua are a dynamic duo. He's an incredible at the business. He's an incredible teacher, but I was so proud of him in this challenge. And I was in the challenge too, but I was tempted to cheat a couple times. And I have to admit, I tried to give him sweet tea a couple times and things he shouldn't have, but Josh kept the faith. He stayed the course, and I'm proud of him. But they are senior officers in the business and on my team, and I could not be any more proud of them.
So Tracy, and I got to say this about Josh. I met him in Columbus, Ohio. I think the first time I met Josh and his beautiful bride, and they come over and they talk to me, and then he looks me in the eyes and he said, "This pretty much this won't be the last of me that you'll see." Guys, if you want to know the character of a person like that really wants to go after this, where there's no test, there's no testimony. Tracy was 6 months without a paycheck. You think that's a test? Today she has a testimony because she fought through it. She had faith. She believed. Josh comes here. He says, "This won't be the last you'll see of me and Ashley." And here's the thing. They are always at the events. Like, leaders are made at events. They're always there. They're always willing to serve. They're always willing to help. And I've never met him when he wasn't grateful. So I come to Ohio. Josh calls me up. I'm at the hotel. I'm in Richmond in their backyard. And he's like, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Like, if you're going to be in town, like, I want to meet you. I want to take you and have a cup of coffee. I want to pick your brain. I want to leader." My mentor taught me a long time ago, how do you know when you spot gold? It looks different than dirt. Right? Think about the sifting and sorting. Not that people are dirt, okay? Don't quote me on that. I mean, but if you're thinking about sifting and sorting for gold, and you're sifting and sorting through dirt, how do you know you spot gold? It looks different. Josh is like, "This won't be the last time you see us." And then they showed up. And then they broke ranks. And then they kept showing up. You think there's been this in their business? Absolutely. Where there's no test, there's no testimony. You think he's here today thriving with a grateful heart? I've never met him when he wasn't grateful and appreciative. I'm sure he has moments like we all do, but he's always grateful. He's always appreciative. And I know now that 20 years from now, we'll be talking about all these stories inside of Partner Co. that has happened. And so I got a couple of questions for him, Tracy. First of
Okay.
all, Josh, thanks for being on.
Absolutely.
You could talk all day about the business, but we're going to shift because you won the transformation challenge and you were super humble about it when I called you. You're like, whatever. It's unbelievable what you did. And you won it. You received $1,000 from the company. But I want to know, like, first of all, what products did you use on your regiment? So tell me the Josh Hoopler product regiment through the transformation challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Brent, for having me on here and just sharing. So I'm a pretty simple guy. And so my products that I use are pretty simple. I am faithful with the drops and I'm faithful with Renew. From the moment the drops hit, that's what I use. From the moment the good tasting Renew. I mean, if you guys tasted that old Renew, there was not a chance that that was going to be part of my daily routine. I'm a little bougie that way. It needs to taste a little bit better. So once it hit, then it honestly, those were my two products. I threw MOA in, which I hated for the longest time. My wife loves it, and she finally like force fed me enough that I've got the taste for it. But really, it was just those two products that did well, that did it for me. It was yeah, pretty simple, those two things.
No, that's great. That's great. I love the simplicity because we can handle that. But so I've got another question for you because currently right now I'm personally, I traveled a lot this year. I said that last week. I put on some weight. I'm personally working to get it off. So what's the one thing you did to stay consistent? Obviously you won it. You had a lot of consistency. Like what did you do? Is there any tips? Because I hope we're all a product of the product. That's one thing I value in your family. Tracy, her husband Bob, like Josh, like the whole family is not
Yeah.
just in the business making money, but they're products of the product. Like they're embracing it. They're creating their own transformations, which I think is so key, to helping you with the business, but obviously helping you live a longer life. What was the consistency piece for you in this?
Well, before I answer that, I have to add in that my kids actually, we line up. It's kind of like a bartender. We line up Limu and Noni, and we do shots of it before school and everything. So even my kids are in on that too. And so to answer your question, Brent, I mean, to be honest with you, my biggest thing, I've done the body challenge before. I lost 20 pounds over, about 14, 15 months ago when we first started, and I tried to prove, Tracy wrong and everything. And I, I, I really went into it with that go around the very first time with a perfect mentality where I have to do this exactly perfectly. Okay. And so I tried to do that, but this go around, I had a complete 180 in terms of just my mind. And so, what I realized was perfection is going to shine and put a spotlight on all your failures. But progress is going to put a spotlight on your purpose and your potential. And so, what's incredible with that is that by being perfect, I realized that that's just setting you up for failure. So, yes, did I get tempted by Tracy offering me sweet tea? Absolutely. Was there days that I failed to get all my water in? Absolutely. But whereas the first go around, that would have tripped me up because it would have triggered and said, I'm not perfect. So why even try this, right? You go in this mindset of being perfect. But I always tell our new droppers, I tell our teammates, that's always, and I want to do like a cool t-shirt that it's always progress over perfection every time. And what's amazing with that is that by going and having this, like, okay, I didn't get all my water in, I didn't hit my move goal exactly today, but you know what? Tomorrow's a new day and I'm going to wake up. And because of that, it was so freeing, and where the stress, the anxiety of all those things that kind of, build, because like, okay, I'm supposed to be the product of the product. We're supposed to lead. We're supposed to do all these things, this pressure, pressure, pressure. And I can just simply step back and say, you know what? yeah, I didn't do it perfectly that day, but tomorrow is a day for me to progress and be better than the day before. And really, that was the big thing. The products are amazing. I mean, we all know that, but for me, I needed to have that mind shift to just kick it into, I was already in a good gear. I just needed to kick it into the next gear.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you made me think of this. If you've lost weight on the drops, put it in the comments if you don't mind sharing. Put it in the comments just a roundabout, like don't, 10 pounds, 15 pounds. Look at this, Josh, like 78 pounds, 29 pounds, but I over 100 pounds. Look at all this. People ask me all the time, do the drops work? Okay, guys. Yes, here's your answer. Like it works, it works, it works. Just the people on the call tonight. Like we have thousands upon thousands of people not here that the drops will work. But let me challenge you to think of something. If you've lost 5 pounds and you ever slip up, guess what you've learned how to do? Lose 5 pounds, lose 10 pounds, lose 15 pounds. If you can lose five, you can lose 10 if you need to. So once you've done it, if you ever do slip up, guess what you can do again? You can do it again. And Josh, I think about you in the business. No test, no testimony. You've had tests, but at the end of the day, whether it's your body or it's your business, you know how to go make it bigger now, right? Like you know how to go make it bigger. What's one takeaway going back, moving back off your body and into just overall partner co? What would you say has been the one blessing? I know there's been many and you would share many, but what's one blessing that partner co that you've experienced with partner co? You're like, I know mine, but what is yours, right? Like what coming into partner co, calling it sugar water to begin with, to now going to the events, meeting the owners, spending time with people, winning challenges. What would you say the take like the aha I'm grateful for partner co? What is that for you?
Yeah, I mean, you're so right. I mean, there's so many different avenues that I could take go, and the money's, is a blessing, all those things. I would say really the community. Everybody wants to be a part of something special. They want to feel valued. They want to feel worthy. They want to feel all those things. And I've never been a part of something like Partner Co. I've never done network marketing up to this point in time. 15 months ago was the first time. And again, I entered in it just to, prove them all wrong. And here I am. I'm like, I got the Partner Co. hats. I got a guy that makes the hats for me. I mean, it's like, I'm building these relationships to always have them on standby. But it's the community that, to have Brent, you called me on my birthday just to wish me, just, I was able to talk to Dr. Crystal today for about 25 minutes, and just picking up the phone and answering a phone call. It's just something special to meet, the whole cross line in Columbus, and just people at PXP, and just amazing people. I could go through these list of all these individuals that are on this call, and so many that I've had conversations with, and in a community that both Ashley and I, my wife, we can do this together. It's not, I'm here right now as the winner in the male category, but I don't do anything without my wife. Ashley is very much a part. And so it's so special that her and I can be in this community, do it together, see all the smiling faces, and just the love on Facebook, in the chats. It's so special, and it's just something that we've never truly encountered. And as I did, Dan on the call, when they announced it, he told a little bit of the story, but not the whole thing. At the very end of it is, I said, I found my people. I found the community that I love to lock arms with. And I see some people shaking their heads, and I know that kind of resonates with so many people. But like, honestly, guys, what other area of your life, what other business, what other, that we are all not part of the same team. We have the same goals, but yet we are locking arms together and we can do it and lead with love and just, it's just incredible. It's super special. So I know that's a long thing to simply answer your question, but it's the community that Partner Co just naturally is created. And again, that flows from leadership. I mean, everything flows from the top down. And so that starts with, our owners, and it's just, and through you, Brent, and it's just special, super special.
Now, Josh, you shared that well, and I want everybody to take away as Josh is here, look at his background. Like, did you know there's somebody on here that does not know we have a Partner Co Share app that you go to the app store, you go to Partner Co Share, you can download the app. It's free. You just put in your ID number and password. And then right there, there's a tools section, and there's all kinds of these backgrounds you can put on Zoom, to give it that professional look. And then I look at his hat. Like, so I say this all the time. Are you at the company or are you in the company? Right? And it's okay either way. We have a lot of people that are just at the company. They're drinking the products, they're happy, and that's it. They're at the company. Just like you're sometimes at Amazon or at Walmart or at Costco. So sometimes people are at Partner Co. But then there's people that's in Partner Co. Like you got a key to the break room. You got the little code that like unlocks the door. You know the owners by their name because you spoke to them, because you showed up to an event. You know the leaders like family because you've asked them to break bread with you or have coffee with you. I challenge all of us tonight to open up and go, am I doing that? Like if Josh is senior officer and he can have a background and he can have a hat, he can wear the brand, he can show up to the event, he's in Partner Co. Where am I tonight? Where there's no test, there's no testimony. Josh, you're a shining example of somebody that's, had plenty of tests, but you've got plenty of testimonies and you're just, hey, it's just the start. So thank you, brother, for being here and sharing tonight. And, we're going to transition to the last guest and I'm excited because it's like the trifecta of them. And her name is Miss Kristy Rogan. And I want to tell you the character, just like Josh being here, Tracy. Kristy has traveled all day today, is now in West Virginia tonight. Look at the transformation, guys. Product of the product. Just like Josh, just like Tracy. She's putting the product in. She's wearing the button. She's part of the brand. She's a senior manager with our company, just getting started with us. She has sold 80 boxes of drops. Let me tell everybody now, if she's at least made $60 per box, that's $4,800. I'm just doing the quick math. 80 times 60, $4,800. Not counting, that's just one way we're paid on the profit on the retail side, not counting what the company has sent her. She's created this transformation and she's just getting started with us. So Kristy, thank you so much for being here. And I want Tracy to talk about you before we kick this thing off as we end with you tonight, and I can't wait for you to share.
Well, I always like John Maxwell's saying, you're only as good as the people around you. And it's so true because if it weren't for my team, Tracy wouldn't be where she's at today. And I realized that. And so once a friend of mine, Tanya, a very good friend of mine from years and years ago, She got into the business with me and became a brand partner. And by connecting with me, she connected me to Kristy. So what I want to say to you, oftentimes we focus on the one that we're signing up, but you never know the goal that's coming behind it or who they're going to bring into the business. So Tanya, if you're on here, thank you, thank you. And also to Dave and Bev Vance, I just want to say, because Kristy's in Florida, I'm in Ohio. So they have been huge in because they're in Florida, including Kristy in some of their functions. So there we go again, the blurred lines. Let's help each other and lock arms. But Kristy, I am so proud of you, and I won't take any more of your time, but thanks
Yeah.
for being here.
Kristy, we are proud of you. And I know Dave and Bev, you've created, they're great leaders in our company and just solid humans and lives down in Florida. And I was talking to you a little bit yesterday or day before yesterday. And the first thing Tracy told me about you is work ethic.
Mm.
And so, first of all, just tell us really quick your story. Like, how did you come to Partner Co? Because for us on the call, why do we need to hear these stories? Because we're passing by people every day that is Kristy, that is Tracy, that is Josh, that is Brent, that we can talk to if we just open up. If we
Yeah.
just so tell us, like, how did that happen? I'm so interested.
Yeah. So thank you so much. And Tracy, thank you. Thank you for sharing because Tanya shared with me. And unlike you, Tracy, I wasn't thinking I was healthy. Midlife, menopause, and I actually created a button that says menopause sucks. So I wear that button, right? Because menopause does suck. And I was really unhappy. The picture that you saw of me, I mean, I felt like a bloated toad. I mean, I just kept blowing up and blowing up and blowing, and I never really had weight problems before. And the things that used to work for me, they weren't working. And I was trying a lot of other things. And so I had the weight issue, and it makes me want to cry. But I would literally, I'm a Christian, I love the Lord, but hormones, hormones will mess you up. But I literally hated myself. Like I hated myself for allowing myself to get like that. But honestly, I'm so thankful now because I have an empathy and a compassion and an understanding where a lot of people are. A lot more people are in that camp than the other camp. They're so healthy, amazing, and wonderful, and everything's great. So my test, which is now a testimony, or like Dr. Crystal says, mess becomes the message. I was there. I was in the mess. And now I can really help people so much better. Um, I wear a shirt, I wear a button, ask me about skinny drops, and people bite all the time. If you don't have a shirt or a button, you have to get one because people bite. And when they do, then I try not to spew on them, right? I literally say, you know the saying, a picture paints 1,000 words. And I grab my phone and I hold my picture. And, it's the bloated toad. And then, oh my goodness, she's not a bloated toad anymore. So that completely opens up the door for the conversation. And that has been wonderful. So definitely be branded, wear your brand. And it's not only just about you and growing your business and building your business. People are desperate. People need help, and we have things to help. And then, I just want to say my husband's in medicine, and there are so many people out there. My husband's office doesn't recommend the Ozempic and all of those things, but he has a lot of patients that are on very harmful, very dangerous shots and other things. And he has one patient in her 40s that is completely blind from some of the weight loss shots. So we have to get the word out. It's up to us. The world needs this. And so as you can tell, I'm really passionate about it.
No, and it takes passion. It takes passion. I mean, you can make hustle money here, you can make part-time, but to get to significant income, it takes a
Yeah,
degree of passion.
yeah,
And I can feel your passion. I feel your excitement. And that's what it takes. Like nobody wants to follow a dull, this might sound rude, but it's just the way it is. Nobody wants to follow a dull, delusional, like, oh, how are you today? You
right.
know, I mean, we've got to show the energy.
Yeah,
We got to be the product. And we got to get out there with energy and share that with passion. And so one of the things you've been commended on by Tracy and the team is how you follow the SOG with consistency. And so many people will follow that system of growth and the 2 posts a day until they might, well, it slowed down. So they slow down. But you know what? Judge your days and judge your weeks. But wouldn't you agree that the money you make is year long? So what if you sold 10 boxes this week, but a month later you sold 40 boxes?
yeah,
Would that all not be included in the year?
yeah.
So you got to stay consistent through the year. So Kristy, give us some like what drives you with the consistency. You got any tips there on the posting twice a day and how you do that?
Yeah, I'm so thankful. I am so thankful for the system of growth because I have tried other things. I've been in other things and we didn't have that. And the system of growth, it's right there. It's copy, it's paste, it's done for you. Especially, I mean, for all of us, whether we're brand new and we know nothing or we're experienced and busy, it's done. It's taken care of for us. So, and then we also, let's just say Facebook, we just assume people are seeing our things, our posts. They're not. So
Yeah.
that's why it's important to do consistent again and again and again. And then a lot of people haven't heard of the drops or they haven't heard of Partner Co. And marketing strategy, I mean, marketing tells us that it takes a person 7 to 10 touches or contacts before they're even open to it. So there are people that have been watching my page, maybe seeing something here, 1 week and maybe seeing something another week, although I'm posting, twice a day. They're not seeing 2 posts every day. So they just see it a little, maybe something, and then number 2, and then they see it a third time and a fourth time until finally they can't stand it. I mean, I have people are like, okay, tell me about the drops now. And I was that way with Tanya. I mean, the truth be told, I was trying other things and then I just was having no success. And I said, Tanya, okay, meet with me, tell me about these drops. And so we just can't assume people aren't always seeing our stuff. Do the posts 9 and 2 and do things in between. I'm having so much fun. Right now, I have like a really neat group of people on the drops and that they're having such great success. They're going to the doctor and their blood work's amazing and they're losing 20 pounds and 25 pounds. I mean, you know how much fun that is to post? It's so fun. Yeah,
Yeah, and I challenge it, like go follow Kristy Rogan. Like go see what she's doing. Success leaves clues. She's on the up and up. Like this, she's not stopping at senior direct manager. She's headed on up to bigger heights here with our company. And Kristy, not only are you doing the 2 posts a day, but she also does drop talks where she invites people in for the community. They get together. Dave and Bell's been involved with that, Vance in Florida. So that, Kristy, with the drop talks, what have you experienced there as we end? I know we've got just a few minutes, but what what have you seen? And again, I'm looking for the people out there that's going, hey, I don't do drop talks. Like, what is the importance of bringing people together for that you've seen?
Yeah, it is so important. Um, First of all, before I forget, I want to say thank you so much to Dave and Bev Vance. This is just one of those confirmations, divine appointments. You know that you're at the right place at the right time. They live less than 10 minutes from me. I mean, I live in DeBerry. They live in DeBerry. I mean, we're so close, and I'm so thankful. But regarding the drop talks, so I have a bestie, my friend Lisa and I. We actually went to the Villages with our Ask Me About Skinny Drop shirt, and we have our QR code on the back. And actually, if anyone's interested, I have this vision of like this whole, group, like 7, 8, 9, 10. Like we're gonna just take over the Villages, right? And everybody's gonna be walking with their, Ask Me About Skinny Drop shirt. But guess what? We had so many bites. Now, here is the reality. We only had a couple people. We booked a coffee shop in the Villages and we had a drop talk. We only had a couple people, but guess what? A couple people signed up. Don't ever, ever, ever get frustrated or discouraged by the number, because 1 + 1 + 1, like Tracy said, you never know who is going to be that next diamond. And so, yeah, so we did a drop talk in the Villages, and we're going to be doing that again in September when I get back from West Virginia and Ohio. And then we just had another drop talk. Now the other day, here's the sad truth, but we didn't have any brand new, but we took that time. We didn't have any brand new prospects. It was the weekend after the 4th of July, but it was on our calendar. And guess what? We were going to do it anyway, because you don't know if someone's going to come or not. But we had team members, business partners, and we just turned it into a training. So it's just important to get the drop talks on the schedule and just do it again and again and again and again. And, sometimes you'll have one, sometimes you'll have none. Sometimes, we're going to be filling up the room. That's just the way it's going to be. We are going to be filling up the room so Tracy can come and Josh can come and Brent can come, and we're going to start doing big things in Central Florida.
Kristy, Rogan, thank you so much. Those
You're
were
welcome.
so many highlights right there. And I want to say this lesson for all of us. Years ago, 6.5 hour drive, I was a high school principal. One person showed up. He happened to be the CEO of a major company in town. And from that one person, tens of millions of dollars in purchases of product came from that one meeting. One person. I always say, you're one person away from an explosion. You will never know who the one person is.
Mm.
And that mindset has always stuck to me, Kristy. Like, it taught me, right? 6.5 hours, one person, really? What could that happen? Tens of millions of dollars in sales over the years because of that.
Yeah.
You're one person away from an explosion. You never know what Zoom that person's going to be sitting on, what 2-on-1 coffee shop, what drop talk party that they're sitting in, or what, customer. I always say we got to give the customer more value than they paid for, because that customer could convert and be your biggest explosion in your business if you convert them to a brand partner. Kristy, Rogan, Tracy, Josh, thank you. Give them love in the comments, please. It's not easy coming on and speaking and wanting to add value, but you did tonight, Kristy and Tracy
Thank
and
you.
Josh. Thank you all.
Thank
Guys,
you.
we love you. Have an amazing evening. Andrea Rosser, that's a wrap. Great call tonight.
Great job tonight, everybody.
Very good.